Well, people, it is Wednesday, the 3rd of December, a December to remember. And I did not even anticipate I would do a video on PETE HEGSETH again. But I'm telling you, the seat is hot. It's so hot. I feel like I done something wrong. This thing getting crazy. They talking prosecution and war crimes? Now, I had to really settle myself down. Well, first of all, thank you guys for being here. I am Friendship Pearson. Praise God for whom all blessings flow, and may we stay covered in the blood because we are one day closer to the Lord and his coming. But I'm telling y'all, sure as my name is Friendship Pearson, something's up. Something's up. Because see, I just want to be logical. America knows better. We know that. Wait a minute. Let me back up. I did some research, and I believe you guys will like this. We do have a thing called the Coast Guard, right? And we do have the Drug Enforcement Administration, right? And how far was this boat that was blasted into smithereens, and then the second strike with the two men holding on for dear life, how far was this boat away from American shores? Baby, if we don't ask the right questions, we won't get down to the nitty gritty. So we can ask other questions. And once I show you this, you're going to ask yourself, it's so obvious. There's got to be another reason besides drugs. Because number one, the Coast Guard could have intercepted them after the first shot. Am I right? The DEA, they handle coastal shores and stuff like that, don't they? Aren't they involved in it some way, somehow? They were off the coast of Trinidad, which I'm going to show you how far it is. And when I say far, whether it's by land, sea, or air, that little boat, it wasn't going to make it to American shores. I'm telling you, I just told myself, when I saw all this stuff tonight, let's just sit down and look at this thing practical, as if you just heard about it. Because they selling us something, but let's just sit down and think about it practical, right? Now, told you about the Coast Guard, told you about the DEA. Let's look at this boat, right? Let's look at this boat. This boat is, did I tell you? Here it is. This boat, that's the boat that they blasted. That boat, I guess that's the drugs. And the two men are in that boat. That should be where the gas go. Okay? People, doesn't Congress declare war? I know they still teach that in civics, don't they? That's one of the first things I learned. We got 3 branches of government. Let me see, it's been so long. Let me see. Executive, judicial, and legislative. You still have to pass the Constitution, don't you, to graduate? I remember, because I was sweating. I want to get up out of here. I want to pass. I studied the Constitution. Legislative, executive, and judicial. All 3 branches have a function. Only Congress can declare war. I guess unless there's a state of emergency. I don't know. Put it in the chat. I just want you to help me out. I want to be practical and logical on this thing. You saw the boat. Okay. You got the song. I'm going down. Remember the movie Car Wash? I'm going down. 'Cause you ain't around, baby. I mean, can you imagine PETE HEGSETH singing that to Trump, saying, I'm going down, 'cause you ain't around? Then again, I think about that old gospel hymn, Wade in the water. Wade in the water, children. Let's get off into this thing. Pete Hegseth. There is a General Keane that was interviewed today. And he said something. And I'm asking myself, is he speaking without speaking? Two things. Fox News said, General Keane, Trump is dead serious about this. You heard me. I'm going to show it to you. I'm going to show you exactly what it said. Trump is dead serious. You say I put it in quotes, dead serious, and the brother got on a purple tie. That made me think. Y'all know that's Phoenicia. Is that coincidence? Dead serious? Trump is dead serious? Come on, man. Work with me. Work with me. Work with me. I told y'all. Brother got to retire by the 19th. I'm telling y'all, I think something going down. Listen to what he got to say.
What you see here, this show of force, this military there is not there to kill speedboats. It's there to demonstrate to Maduro that it's in your best interest to voluntarily leave. The president has already made up his mind, I believe, that regime change is what is called for here. And so our viewers understand. In 1989, President George H.W. Bush directed a regime change in Panama of Noriega. He was indicted in this country for narco trafficking and for human trafficking. He felt completely justified in physically removing him from power by conducting an invasion to do that regime change. In '94, just a few years later, President Clinton did much the same thing, dealing with Haiti, when a military dictator took over and removed the democratically elected president. The mission was to restore that democratically elected president to power. That was Aristide. Presidents have acted strongly in the Western Hemisphere dealing with the regime change because they know if they don't take it, it affects the security of the American people. And that's what people got to get their heads around here. This president is dead serious about making certain that the poison...
Did you hear him? Dead serious. Dead serious. I don't know, people. Now, let's look at this thing here. Brian Tyler Cohen.
War crime for killing these two people.
That was Newsmax's senior legal analyst, Andrew Napolitano, pulling no punches and saying that Pete Hegseth and everybody else involved in the September 2nd strike should be prosecuted for committing war crimes. Now, the background here is that on September 2nd, the U.S. military struck a boat off the coast of Trinidad, and after the first missile hit, 2 survivors were spotted clinging to the wreckage. According to the Washington Post, Hegseth had given a verbal order to, quote, kill everybody, and so a Special Operations Commander, Mitch Bradley, ordered a second strike to fulfill that directive. Those 2 people were then blown apart in the water. 11 people total were killed. So just to be clear about what we're talking about here, the first missile disables the boat and kills 9 people. Then, while 2 survivors were helpless, unable to pose any threat whatsoever, the military fired a second missile to finish them off, which would constitute a war crime, as Andrew Napolitano said. Republican Senator Rand Paul made that point as well on Twitter, writing, "It is not permitted under the laws and customs of honorable warfare to order that no quarter be given, to apply lethal force to those who surrender or who are injured, shipwrecked, or otherwise unable to..."
Anybody been in the Army? Put it out there. What you think? I think it's clear. When I get through showing you this information, look, Trump wants him out of there. And maybe the majority of Americans agree with Trump. I showed you earlier, only 8% of the DRUGS is coming from them. The rest is like predominantly Mexico, and I forgot the other country, but this don't pass the smell test. I believe it's about energy, oil, and control. But Trump is giving Maduro, say, look, get on up out of there. we're going to stall on somebody else. Listen to Trump's response. He listened to a reporter today.
To that vote, should Secretary Hegseth, Admiral Bradley, or others be punished?
I think you're going to find that this is war, that these people...
If it is found that survivors were actually killed while clinging on to that vote, should Secretary Hegseth, Admiral Bradley, or others be punished?
I think you're going to find that this is war, that these people were killing our people by the millions, actually, if you look over a few years. I think last year we lost close to 300,000 people were killed. That's not mentioning all the families. Have you seen what happens with the families of not only the people killed, the people that are trying to get their son or their daughter off of this poison that they've been fed? I think you're going to find that there's a very receptive ear to doing exactly what they're doing, taking out those boats. And very soon we're going to start doing it on land too, because we know every route, we know every house, we know where they manufacture this crap, we know where they put it all together. And I think you're going to see it very soon on land also. Yeah, please.
So to be clear, do you support the decision to kill survivors after the...
No, I support the decision to knock out the boats. And whoever's piloting those boats, most of them are gone. But whoever are piloting those boats, they're guilty of trying to kill.
Will he release the tapes? That's the question. We'll see. This could get crazy. This thing could go up the ranks. Pete Hegseth could possibly be prosecuted. It could be war crimes, people. Trump say he going up in there. He say he know exactly what a DRUGS place is and where they manufacture it. People, let me tell you something. I think what comes into place is strategy and rules of engagement. You don't let nobody know that you know what their drug operation is. Okay, I'm just keeping it real. If you know where they doing the DRUGS, you don't let them know you're coming, Trump. I don't have to replay the tape. I know what I heard. I'll put that video in the description. I know what I heard. Put your hand by your ears, Pearson, when you say it. I know what I heard. Look. Something wrong with this. Something don't feel right. Now, here's the judge. I used to follow this guy back in the day.
It's very clear that they were...
Used to follow him back in the day. So I want you to listen to him. Judge Andrew Napolitano. Never pronounced it right, but check it out. He used to work with Pete Hegseth.
Napolitano is joining us with this senior judicial analyst. Again, the White House is very clear that they were acting within the scope of the law. The orders were given to take out these boats, and this continues on to their effort to stop drug trafficking here in the States. It does get a little murky of what happened in terms of the orders, who carried what, who said what. Talk to us about that.
Well, I wish the White House would reveal to us the laws on which the president is relying. He says he has an opinion from the Justice Department, but neither the Justice Department or the White House will offer it for public scrutiny. And it gives me no pleasure to say what I'm about to say, because I worked with Pete Hegseth for 7 or 8 years at Fox News. This is an act of a war crime, ordering survivors who the law requires be rescued instead to be murdered. There's absolutely no legal basis for it. Everybody along the line who did it, from the Secretary of Defense to the Admiral to the people who actually pulled the trigger, should be prosecuted for a war crime for killing these 2 people.
And who would bring that prosecution forward?
Military would bring them, because they're all active duty military. Not the Secretary of Defense, but everybody else would be subject to a court martial. I don't know where this is going to go. Republicans in the Congress seem to be...
There was a movie back in the day. I can't think of it. You guys can help me out. Wesley Snipes was in it. And Wesley Snipes was a drug kingpin. And he was in court. And he stood up in the middle of the courtroom and said, if I go down, Do it right, Pearson. If I go down, everybody's going down. And then he pointed to the man who handled, I think he was crunching the numbers. And he squared on everybody. Do you think they could be a power tussle in the White House? I'm just putting it out there. Like I said, I wouldn't even think about this tonight. But every other feed was this here. So let's be practical. Let's go down the road, and you're gonna see why I did what I did. And maybe you guys have thought about this. Maybe I'm late to the party. The closest U.S. shores to the coast of the country, Trinidad. The boat was in Trinidad when they blew it up. So the closest U.S. shores to the coast of the country, Trinidad and Tobago, are in Florida, a distance of approximately 1,300 miles by air. I showed you that little boat. Do you think that boat could have got 1,300 miles? Come on, use your head. Coast Guard. It screams Coast Guard. There's my receipts right there. 1,300 miles. Where at? 1,300 miles away. You can Google it yourself. What is the distance between the coast of Trinidad to the closest United States shores? 1,300 miles. By air. Come on, man. Is it making any sense now? Let's be practical. Where is the coast of Trinidad? The coast of Trinidad, I'll let you look at it while I read it. The coast of Trinidad is the shoreline of the island of Trinidad, which is part of the island nation of Trinidad and Tobago. It is located off the northeastern coast of Venezuela in the southern Caribbean Sea. That's where it's at. Now, let me go back on this. I kept hearing 9/11 because when they hit it, 9 perished and they had 2 left. 9/11. Do you see? There's symbology in this thing too. As well as this general saying Trump is what? Dead serious. Let me get my quote right. Dead serious. People, I don't care what nobody say. They speaking. Now let me add to this. Here's your general right here. That's the general right there. That's him. Jack Keane. I got the right guy? Jack Keane. That's him. I'm making sure I don't mess up on this video. Look like him to me. Jack Keane. Birthday, February 1st. February 1st, he 82 years old like Biden, 82. Wait till I show you this here. I'm sure y'all with me now. Because this don't make no sense, the distance. The distance, 1,300 miles. I have some more stats. Pearson, you messing up. 1,300 miles? Oh, I had this. If you go a distance, it's between 1,600 to 1,700 miles by sea. See that? 16 to 1,700 miles by sea. So from Trinidad to Florida, by boat, is 1,600 to 1,700 miles. Once you hit them with the first torpedo, whatever it was, that's Coast Guard, baby. Am I making sense? I'm making too much sense. What a media when you need it. Independent media is good. It's good unless it's bought off. Did I say that? What you got here, Pearson? His birthday, February 1st, 2024, his last birthday, the general. July 14th, 2024, that's Trump's birthday. The difference is 7/13. Symbolically, they're speaking. That's Trump's birthday. Pete Hegseth's birthday, June 6th. Take June 6th. Hate when this does this. Take June 6th. Take June 6th. Subtract it from the general's birthday, you get 4-5. That's Trump. I told y'all this thing stink. The whole thing stink. Something up. I'm Franchise Pearson. Don't want to make it too long. I love you guys. Please put it in the chat how you feel. Am I making sense? Anywhere between 13, 14, 1,600 miles, no matter what you do. Even if you ski. Come on, man. You got to go in. They were not a threat is what I'm saying. So what's really going on? This story got holes in it. And is there going to be a rumble in the jungle in the White House between the army and Trump? Stay tuned. I smell a rat.